Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All right, if this doesn't work, we won't have a show. Okay. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everybody. I'm Preacher Miles, host of the S.O.S. The Shout Out Show. Apologies for the audio issues. I thought that was taken care of. Things happen. In the world, things happen. I would like to begin this show by saying sometimes when you are going through the news and you put together a show, or what we call you build your show, you'll find that some of the things that you talked about previously, and they were fairly developed thoughts, but they weren't necessarily complete. It's sort of like a artery, if you will. An artery expands because blood goes all the way to the artery and it expands. A lot of times when we're talking about some of the subject matter on this show, it is the fact that we are speaking about the knowledge that we have at that particular point in time. I try not to, as a rule, overextend myself and get into a space where it's conspiracy theory or things like that. For lack of a better word, you have to have some level of journalistic integrity because people are going to ask you, where'd you get that from? Where did you see that? Today's story, or this subject today, actually begins in an article that was in a Philadelphia newspaper talking about cultural appropriation. The term is called Blackfishing. Now, many of you know last year I went on a rant about Muslims in blackface, and I talked about minstrel shows and things like that. And minstrel shows was a very, very fetishized way of cultural appropriation. That's the best way to say it. Fetishization of racial cultural appropriation, particularly as it pertains to African Americans. African Americans are drivers, large drivers of cultures, influencers in the United States and around the world. This article revisited a young woman from Australia. She's a white rapper. Her name is Iggy Azalea. And she had a fair amount of hits in the United States, but it had so much to do with using the black or traditional black format of rap. And I'm like, you know what? If you can make a record, if you're talented, I will leave it alone. But this case, brothers and sisters, this mention in this article had a lot to do with her physical appearance. That she had darkened her skin up. That she went from the blonde hair to the black hair to make her appearance look more in line with black people. So when we look, we have to do a double take. And maybe she may not be white, but we may think maybe she's mixed. And she put out a video. The video is called I Am the Strip Club. Now think about it. What white women actually run around talking about they up in the strip club? None. Sadly, a lot of our sisters talk about being up in the strip club. There's a network on cable. I thought, that television couldn't sink any lower. And then they gave us the We Network. And now you have shows like, Love and Lockup. And you have shows, this particular one, about strippers, poles, being on the pole, dancing on the pole. I'm on the pole, everybody. And it talks about their lives as strippers. And here's a young lady who writes a song called I Am the Strip Club. Not that I strip at the strip club, but I am the strip club. So you got to do your homework. And I'm like, yeah, she's biting pretty hard. But the thing that shocked me, and I want to apologize to all of you because I try and stay astute about these things. I'm going to tell you now, I dropped the ball. I missed the ball, brothers and sisters. Because in her song, I Am the Strip Club, there's a scene where she's in the back of a truck. And the strip club is supposed to be in the back of the truck and they're driving. The blackfishing, if you will, that actually happens beyond her trying to culturally appropriate Black music is they have successfully culturally appropriated Black masculinity. Let me say it. They have successfully, in a mainstream way, culturally appropriated Black masculinity. Because all of her dancers behind her was switching and turning and all this good stuff. There wasn't nothing straight in that truck, brothers and sisters. That was my guess. And it was the flaunting of men scantily clad. Normally, we've been making this argument about women being scantily clad and women being objectified, about their bodies and fetishized. And it's Black men, a majority Black men. And these are Black men, when you watch them dancing, they're not Black men that remind you that they are heads of families, that they are leaders that you will rally around. And we're not going to get into, of course, gender preference and all of that. That's a whole nother show. I didn't look to see how many views this video hit, how many millions it hit. But what I thought about was a young Black boy who was sitting there unattended to watching this video and singing along to the song and watching these Black men fetishize. It was a fetish. It was like, almost S&M, if you will. Watching these guys in leather and chains dance and whoop-de-whoop while this woman who was trying to frame herself as Black sang her song. I'm going to give it to you a little bit more. We're going to come back and I'm going to take my time, if you will. And we're going to end it early because it's a Sunday and I know people have things to do. But I have to say, we have to watch this. We have to watch it because we have been slipping. This whole thing of protests and social justice, we've dropped the ball. I admittedly have dropped the ball, but we have dropped the ball. And we're going to talk about when we come back. Let's start the show, the Shout Out Show, Preacher Moss. And we're back. I want to welcome anybody who's come to the Shout Out Show for the first time. This is your initial Shout Out Show, first experience. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you. We ask that you stick around a while. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, hit the like button if you like the show. But we want you to be a part of this experience. And if you have something to say that you think is worthwhile, that I think is worthwhile, get in the comment section and express yourself because you're going to be a part of a very eclectic group and they do express themselves. Without a doubt. So thank you for coming on the show. Immediately, I want to get some shout out to stars in the building, if you will. Stars in the building. Let's get them up here right now. We'll give a shout out to Sister Ree, who is assisting her friend in her recovery down in Miami. I saw your live thing. That food looked good, Sister Ree. I couldn't eat some of that stuff in there, but you know it suits yourself. But it looked good. I'm here to tell you. And I hope you guys get back from Miami safely. Continue, and I hope Allah blesses you for going down there and taking care of your friend. Next up, Alta, Mr. 6 o'clock, straight up, straight down, coming all the way from Canada, Toronto, Canada. My man, how you doing, brother? We appreciate you. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my friend. Thank you for being a part of the shout out show and holding us down. He is the Canadian ambassador. He makes sure that the quality of the show is good on this side and the other side. That's why I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Alta, feel free to tune in on this one too. Chime in. Next up, Kareem, what's going on? Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Appreciate you coming back on the show. Hope you're blessed. You and your family is blessed. You're having a great Sunday. We got a topic here today we got to jump on. It's one of those sleepers. Uh, when you were kids, you used to play the flatulence game. We had a song called SB. We had a word called SBDs, which meant silent but deadly. And this topic is a silent but deadly. It stinks. It stinks. It has an odor of disrespect. And to me, I can't speak to anybody else. These are the things that allow systemic racism, institutional injustice to kind of stay there, because things are being introduced in our communities and we're not fully aware of them. So let me shorten this up. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What's going on, little brother? Thank you so much for coming on the show. Big ups to you, and definitely, man, I hope that the Milwaukee Bucks do something tonight. They got to win, brother. They can't go down 3-0. But I'll check you out and be checking out during the game as well. Hope everything's going well with you and the family. And so we begin. Next up, of course, we got our consultant producer, Sister Sultana Whitfield. I'm not going to have Sister Sultana chime in on this one, but I think this is a topic, to be honest, that she would have a lot to say, because we've been following these things. We've been following these things, and it's like things kind of, they fit a certain way, and we're going to talk about it today. So let's go and get started. Our title is Cultural Appropriation, Blackfishing, and Muslimfishing. Let me give you guys a little background on the word fishing. The word fishing comes back from the early days of the Black church, when you didn't necessarily have organized religion, you had evolving religion within the Black community. So you have Christian, you have the Muslim, what it is. And fishing was called fishing to get new recruits. You're trying to get new converts. We call it the Dawa game, but back then, you would fish to get more people to come. That's a term that's really, really popularized with the Nation of Islam, fishing. So this whole idea of blackfishing, though, switches, because the thing now is we're not trying to be pulling people into our culture. People are trying to pull our culture from us. Well, let me explain. It starts with the music. It starts with the art, whereby your core values are the things that you've held true for all your life. All of a sudden, there's elasticity there that it wasn't there. When I say elasticity, it means we make allowances for things. We make allowances for that. I was watching the movie Breaking today, and they had all these hardcore rappers in there. And I mean, hardcore Ice-T is up in there. They dancing. And this lily white girl just walked in. Ain't nobody say nothing. She just walked in. She couldn't even break dance, but they found out a way for her in that movie that she could do her artistic dance around all these break dances. Now, I actually like the movie Breaking. Don't get me wrong. There's a great dancing in there. But the allowance of the visual that she can come in and pay no dues. Everyone else has to pay dues, but why does this white person not have to pay dues? Not have to learn the dance, learn the people, learn the culture, And I don't know Iggy Azalea, but she's a thief in a lot of people's minds because she can't make music in the white world. Got to have that black thing. And we can go on. We got Rachel Dolezal, a woman who decided she wanted to be black, and she winds up heading up a subsidiary of the NAACP out in Washington State. And then I actually shown people who wanted to be black. They taking pills and things like that. They want to be black in appearance. They want to be black in some type of narrative that they can own, but they don't necessarily have to experience. I probably would have been okay if Iggy Azalea said something like, I was a stripper and she made a song about being a stripper. That's your truth. But the thing nowadays, brothers and sisters, is that we're giving it away. We're giving it away in one of the most serious ways because it affects the future of our children. This woman made a video, and I would say, I could be wrong, but I would say that almost every dancer in the video, well, every dancer in the video was black, and every dancer in the video was probably homosexual, gay. That's the hijacking of black masculinity, brothers and sisters. I told you, and my mentors told me, I said, you ever look at the commercials now, you realize that when they put a family in a car and they're driving in a family, you don't see the black dad anymore. It's a black mom, mixed kids, and a white man. This is the type of cultural appropriation that I am talking about. You see, back in the day, when they took the Amos and Andes and things like that, clearly, it was for the fact that they knew they could do it. There were laws that allowed them to do it, and it reminded black artists that you didn't have any power. But here we are in 2021, and black people have power, and yet this person can actually put that out there and nobody says anything. A couple of days ago, I was talking about Little Nas X. Little Nasir X. Malcolm X, Nasir, Mankind, Little. Little Man X. And this is a guy, his dancing on the BET Awards was nothing compared to what I saw in the video. I am the club. I am the strip club. It was autoerotic dancing to a beat, to a woman that's rapping, trying to sound black. And you can't even get to her because the visual is so strong. I'm like, they're trying to take black masculinity out of black culture. That a black man can't be a black man anymore. Watch the commercials. The family on a family trip. Ain't no Negro driving that car. I'm waiting to see the black family together. You got to go all the way back to the Cosby Show or Family Matters to see a black family all together. Or Blackish. But I can't even holler at Blackish because what was the next show they had after Blackish? Mixish. They can't wait to get a Negro out of the fatherhood role. They can't wait to make sure a black man doesn't know about black masculinity. He won't see the chain of command. People complained about fences. They complained about fences. Troy was too hard on the border. He was a man trying to raise his son to be a man. What were those dances in the back of the truck? They ain't going to have families, brothers and sisters. They're not going to have a nuclear family. And what's my point? My point is this. Wake up. Because I'm talking about blackfishing. You know what else I'm talking about? Muslimfishing. Because we now have people who love to come around Muslims. They give you the assalamu alaikum. And they got the Muslim names, but they ain't got no Muslim adab. They have no intention of learning this culture. And we keep walking around thinking, inshallah, they're going to wake up to their inner Muslimness. It's not happening. They come to use you. They come to use your community. They come to use your resources. I was in an argument several years ago about doing a show, and no offense, the young man I'm cool with, his name is Jeremy McClellan, Christian comedian. He and I are cool, and I've talked to him about this, so this is no different. But I called to get the order in Salt Lake City. I said, what is the lineup for the show? And they said, we're going to have you go on, and then Jeremy is going to go on after you. I said, whoa. Excuse me? We're going to have you go on. I said, listen, you know he's Christian, right? I said, yeah, he's Christian. I said, let me tell you something. I helped start this Muslim comedy game. And when I started this Muslim comedy game, it was for the fact that you will hope that our children will be able to come to a show, look at the people on stage and say, those are people that represent me. Those are the people who I grew up with. Those are the people in my community. They are accessible. And I said, there's absolutely no way that you should have a man that doesn't represent our values close the show. Oh, I don't care about your metrics. I don't care about your I don't care about your fundraising. Years ago, I made a choice, and I chose the Muslim community. And this is part of us being men, Muslim men saying what needs to be said and not going around here tiptoeing. You got shows on TV with Muslim characters. You know what they've been doing, though? They've been Muslim fishing, trying to get a assalamu alaikum, and we turn around and we give them the game. This is what we believe, and you hope they're gonna become Muslim. You know, the thing I respect about Jeremy McClellan, as he entertains Muslim folks, and he tells you about your culture, and he jokes about your culture. He tells you right up front, I have absolutely no interest in being Muslim. Zero. Not a shot. Got a baby, gonna baptize her. We're gonna give him information to make you laugh at yourself and not understand that in the end, funny or not, it's not that you have your best interest at heart, but he's not you. And I'm not talking a zero-sum game here. I'm just talking about in the end. We talk about Islamic schools. If you were to send your kid to Islamic school and you were walking to an Arabic class or a Quran class or something like that, and the teacher there was not Muslim, you'd lose your doggone mind. If you came to Juma on Friday and you had a guy up there who was an atheist trying to tell you about your religion, you lose your mind. And I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Because we do that. You got Muslimfishing going on right now. You got people who picking parts from the Quran to support their views. We have a gay man. And he tells you I'm gay. And he says, the Quran tells me is I'm free to be who I am. Now, I ain't no scholar, so I'm not going to go there. But one thing about the Muslim community is that we implore that our men are men. Men in a space where you lead families. Not that you lead women, you lead families, the family unit. Because woman leads the family as well. And in that space, it follows a plan that's been established long ago. Procreation, that you build community, but you can't do it if the marital couple is a man and a man and a woman and a woman. Call it what it is. And even still, we now have people who do Muslim fishing, who look like us. In some kind, they don't even look like us. In some regards, people have Muslims dancing behind them, just like Iggy Azalea had those black men in those tight cutout jeans and the booty huggers, have them dancing behind her. And we are that close, brothers and sisters. Our Islamic scholarship is all over the place. You know why? Because everybody trying to be liked. Look at Junior Franks. Junior said they didn't want James on Good Time. Thank you, Junior. What was wrong with James? He led his family. He loved his wife. He worked hard. Even in the worst conditions, the man worked hard. The shows about him being unemployed were about the fact that he was working and he lost his job. And he was looking for another job. Altaf. In 2021, we still see Muslims portrayed as terrorists on TV, whether episodes about white supremacy terrorizing people. Yeah, they just took down the Robert E. Lee statue in Charlottesville. Do you know that people were still trying to negotiate to keep that statue there? I got an idea. Let's stop trying to negotiate. Okay? We have a book. What's the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran? You have a book that gives clear instruction. And here's the deal. Everybody doesn't follow religion. Everybody doesn't follow religion. People don't necessarily believe what you believe, and that's okay. But damn it, you believe what you believe. And when the time comes, you say what you have to say about these things. And stop worrying about being liked. Worry about being respected. Stop worrying about being ostracized. Everybody here knows if you're trying to live a righteous life, you are in the odd side of the game. If you look around and go, I'm trying to make something better off of something that's been long-standing and corrupt, you're going to be the odd person out. The people who need the help the most are the ones that are going to attack you the most. This cultural appropriation, brothers and sisters, I can tell you, this is how old I am. There was a movie back in the day that caused a whole lot. See, and I want you to know, Sultana, look up the movie 10 with Bo Derek. Remember that movie, 10 with Bo Derek? I'm going to tell you guys, what year was that movie? This was a white woman who was, in my opinion, promiscuous, pursued by a drunk. You know, this was the whole movie. It was a voyeur thing. And the thing about Bo Derek, you know, that had everybody aflutter, is she put her hair in cornrows. Hear me now, tight cornrows. So she was like one of the first white girls to put her hair in cornrows, right? And people were like, oh, she looks so beautiful. A year ago, Black women are still fighting to have their own natural locks. They made a whole movie about this. 1979. This girl, Iggy Azalea, she's put her hair in cornrows. Kim Kardashian put her hair in cornrows. Whole lot of people put it going. Why? It's not even part of your culture. Why? Because people now feel like they have a front row to Blackness. One of my things when we talked about the whole issue of the George Floyd stuff and social justice, it was a different kind of appropriation going on. You're going to wake up, brothers and sisters, one day, and somebody's going to be arguing about Black rights, and you look up, it's going to be a white person, you'll be like, that's my job. And they're going to like, sit down, Negro. These white folks are listening to me, not to you. we probably need to have a larger show on blackfishing, because I'm going to say this. I think my granddad and my dad and my mom could probably say it. It's interesting that the oppressors give you images to make sure that you hate yourself. Then at the same time, they take those images back from you when you make them beautiful to make money. Right? They gave you lemons, you made lemonade, and now they want all the lemonade. Where do we get to this point? I'm not sure we got to this point. When you watch, you're gonna watch. Some of you are gonna watch the game tonight. Watch the commercials that they put on. See how the black family isn't there anymore. I said this before, and I alluded to it. Probably didn't cover this. Think about this, brothers and sisters. You got a mixed family. You have a mixed family, and you have an issue that's racially divisive. And the person that leads that family is a white man. Now, I'm not talking about the intention of him. He loves his family. He loves his children. I'm talking about, what is your level of efficacy going out into the general public and saying this is wrong when it's right over here? That you've made a situation, you established a situation, for lack of a better word, whereby the argument is muted, is watered down. So think about this as I wrap up. That whole aspect of cultural appropriation, this thing has mutated quicker than the Delta virus, the Delta variant, and it's happened in less than 2 years. You are now looking at commercials with mixed families. You're now looking at videos where the hijacking is not of just the black music, it's the hijacking of black masculinity replaced by, let's call it what it is, the LGBTQ lobby has now gotten in the space where they're putting out there, and I'm going to tell everybody, you know this, I said it, at the BET Awards, everybody sat around quiet and shut up. You know why? Because BET Awards, Black Entertainment Television, is not owned by black people. And they pimp you every day. Every day you go to that station and you watch the videos and those shows, they are blackfishing. Those writers are not black. Those are mostly white writers and white showrunners giving you poison and toxins. You take it in as entertainment, fools. And in the Muslim community, we ain't no better in some regards, because we let everything slide because we want these people to like us. And we start half-stepping on our deen because it's just a little half-step. Well, if 100 million people do a little half-step, that's a lot of half-steps. And you invite people to believe that it's okay to do these things. That it's okay to, I'm gonna take this religion over to these people who don't look like me, and I'm gonna sell them on this religion, and then at the same time, I'm gonna absolutely disparage everything about this living lifestyle, this particular lifestyle. So my character, I'm a Muslim, but my character drinks, doggone it, I'm gonna drink. My character does drugs, I'm a Muslim, I'm gonna do drugs, but doggone, I'm gonna do drugs. Fornicate, lie, cheat, steal. It's fetishization of the Muslim lifestyle. Everything we stand on, everything we stand for, brothers and sisters, people are taking and perverting it and making it someone else. And when they take it someplace else, they don't bring it to you. Just by accident, I came on this video, I Am the Strip Club, just by accident from reading something in a Philadelphia paper. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be talking about it. But I feel that it's my duty to inform you and let you do your own homework, your own due diligence, because this is a problem. Because we leave our children in front of these TVs and the social media and stuff like that, and they get indoctrinated. So I'm just going to leave on that note, brothers and sisters. Do your homework. Again, that video that began this discussion was by Iggy Azalea. It's called I Am the Strip Club. When you watch it, make sure the children aren't around. You ain't got to watch it all the way either. You will turn off, or your TV will turn off on its own. Because this, brothers and sisters, is serious. And when I say it's serious, I'm saying it's serious because I'm behind in bringing it to you. Things I've been talking about have been theories, and this actually is a video that's gone out to millions and millions and millions of people. Emasculated black men. Emasculated black men. You know, back in the day, they had Shirley Temple and Mr. Bilbo Jangles Robinson, potentially one of the greatest tap dancers in the world. You know, his 15 minutes of fame on film are sitting beside a little white girl who's telling him songs. She can't even sing. She can't even tap dance. And they mammy-sized him. They made him a mammy. She danced, and he had to dance the way she wanted him to. And I hate that song. That's slave gospel right there. And the little white girl is singing it to him. And like I said, 1979. So this thing is character. You're right, Kareem. It's distraction of image. But Kareem, check it out. I am the strip club. Say Bismillah. Say A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim before you go there. When you come back. My mother says they can get away with fishing because we don't have the guts to speak up and risk losing money. Izzy got what she wanted. Attention, airplay, and money. My mom hitting it on the head today. You ain't playing today, Sister Mary. But they're sending out a signal. They're sending out a message. What's going on, Miss Eleanor? How you doing? This is my sister, Miss Eleanor, checking in. Hello, my family out there. Sister Reed family, hope to see you soon. Miss Eleanor, mama, doing great. See, my mom and Miss Eleanor come from a time where this stuff ain't happen like that. People got checked. People ain't getting checked now. All right, so let me close out. Let's go to our sponsor. Our generous sponsor, BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. Again, that's BeFinanciallyIndependent.com. Go check them out. Talk about financial advising, financial literacy. And I think it's really important, brothers and sisters, that you understand what an independent financial roadmap looks like. A plan, not just for savings, but also investing. Give a call, 1-888-496-6845. Again, that's 1-888-496-6845. This is run by Miss Maxine B. Cade, Esquire. Like I said, I can give you the information. Make sure you check it out. I think it's worthwhile. She's actually on our show, so you can actually go back in the archive and see what we had the show talking about financial advising. Okay. We also want to give a shout out to Bayan Islamic Graduate School. Again, that's Bayan Islamic Graduate School, of which I am an alum. Check them out. Go to the website. If you're thinking about getting a quality graduate level or doctoral level education, Islamic education, chaplaincy, pastoral service, all these type of things, leadership, studies, all of that, check it out. And check out some of the videos. I guarantee it will be worth the trip. That's whether you're Muslim or not Muslim. That's how good it is. So, brothers and sisters, I'm going to bounce. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's turn back that clock, if you will. Let's start having conversations in our churches, in our mosques, and in our synagogues about this blackfishing. And in our matches, in our communities, particularly African-American Muslim community, we must talk about Muslim fishing. We must talk about it because it's happening within our own community. See what I'm saying? So we just practicing, people watching. We're doing it in our own community. We do the fishing. When I say we do cultural appropriation in the African American Muslim community and the immigrant community, let's talk about it. All right. That's it for today. You guys have been amazing. Hope to see you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The Shout Out Show.